end of the day, the key to being successful is to make customers happy.
Yep.
And you're going to do that through your quality of work and the experience that they had.
Hey everyone, it's Jeff at Opus IVS. Today we're with Shane. He is an area vice president here in the Southeast at a collision center. And we're going to talk to Shane about why collision is hard. So Shane, what's your advice to someone that's looking to maybe get started in collision? What do you look for in them? Or what should they look for?
I mean, my biggest advice to them is learn. Be a sponge. Absorb everything that you can. Listen to the people that have been in this industry for a long time, but listen to somebody that's just gotten started yesterday too. Because we can learn from every person that we come in contact with. And, you know, at this point, so many things are getting lost in this industry from some of the older techniques that still work great. And I think, to me, the perfect combination is those older techniques with the newer ones as well. You know, taking all those tricks and putting them together. But, you know, the worst mistake I think that someone new in this industry can do is come in here and just, you know, not listen to people, just think that they know how to do everything and not want to listen and grow.
Right. And they can learn from your guys. They don't need to spend money to go to school, right? I mean, like you said, you have guys that started out as a porter or a car washer, whatever it might be, and now they've worked their way up, right? So they absorb that information and they were able to use the information that you provided to them essentially for free and then work their way up through the business.
Absolutely. And you know, I think the more that different companies are starting to do a lot of mentoring programs too, it's getting to a point where there's so few people and technicians that are qualified in this industry that we're having to learn to build our own.
Right.
And that's something that we are really pushing to do, and a lot of other companies are too, and I think it's a great thing.
Because at the end of the day, the cars aren't going away, right?
No. They're always going to keep coming, and, you know, unfortunately, people are going to be in those bad situations, and, you know, it's one of those industries, even whenever COVID and everybody was, you know, I've never missed a day of work because of it. So,
Shane, let's talk about other shops that are out there. When you first walk into a shop, can you measure its success by what you see, say in the waiting area?
Realistically, no. I mean, we all make our first opinions by what we see. I can tell you,
I've been to some pretty bad shops.
I have too, but now I have seen some of those shops that if I looked at it, I would think, you know what, there's no way I'd want my vehicle fixed there, but know for a fact that I've seen some really high quality work come out of there. You know, I do think by far that your first impressions mean a lot. You know, one of the things, we get customers here all the time. I'm very blessed with this facility. It is a very, you know, nice facility as far as with the waiting area and everything. And it's amazing to me because I usually try to just talk to customers and stuff whenever I'm in this location or any location, just to kind of get some feedback from them so that I can give feedback to my guys.
Right.
And, you know, one of the things that I hear all the time here is, you know, wow, you know, this doesn't even remind me of coming to a shop to have work done. It's not, you know.
I feel like that's how it's got to be. I mean, I've been to some shops and they got body parts in the waiting area. You know, and there's no TV, there's maybe no coffee, no water, whatever it might be. So I wasn't sure if that's something that maybe you would first judge a shop on when you walk in, is the waiting area and what you first see, that first impression.
To me, my first impression if I go into a different facility, and one of the first things I'm looking for is one, just how I'm greeted whenever I walk in. You know, if I walk into somewhere and they don't know me for my situation, if I come in and you're not warmly greeted and you're not, you know, you don't feel kind of that invited feeling, to me, then my first impression is, man, you know.
Well, I got to say, when I walked into your place today, there was a lady on the phone. She almost immediately put someone on hold, asked me if she could help me. She got back on the phone. A few minutes later, another girl had walked out, asked if I'd been helped. So, yeah, that.
So to me, you know, things like that are my first impression. Obviously, you know, neatness of the shop, and don't get me wrong. I mean, we're right here in this shop right now.
Right.
It's not, you know, super clean. Is it, you know, terrible? No, there's been much worse that I have seen.
Sure. Oh yeah.
But, you know, but at the same time, there's also, I think the technician left a minute ago. You know, so it's not like that. this is everyday life, unfortunately. You know, this facility in particular is a smaller facility as far as the actual size of it. Mm-hmm. So this type of shop does seem to get cluttered and different things because we have so much crammed into a little slot. But yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, those are the things I look for in my first impressions. Just, I do think that there is a direct correlation for the care that someone takes in their facilities and the care that they take in the area around them, and the quality of work that they're going to put out from the aspect of, to me, if they don't care about their own stuff and don't care about how their area is going to be, mm-hmm. Right. How much care are they going to take in my personal vehicle? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, those are all things to me that are all about that first impression whenever I see a shop. So, and no offense, the end of the day, the key to being successful is to make customers happy. Yep. And you're going to do that through your quality of work and the experience that they had. Like I said, they're here because it's a bad experience for them already. Mm-hmm. We don't want to make it worse. Right, right. So, you know, I think all those, to me, lead to success. I mean, those are the keys to...
Absolutely. So what about technology? Like, what do you guys... How are you embracing all this new technology that's coming out, right? With maybe frame machines, welders, ADAS, scanners. How are you guys coping with all this new technology that's now available to the shops that say wasn't available 15 years ago when everything was done on paper?
A lot of training. You know, it's no secret that most of your older body guys don't like change.
Want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, you know, change is bad, but right. Whether you like it or not,
it's here.
The change is coming. Yep. And it's like, you know, any change that we go through. I mean, even whenever I was with the fire department, I used to always say too, because every 2 to 3 years we'd get transferred to a new station. I never got a single order to be transferred that I was happy about. Right. But whenever I'd get to the next one, I was never happy about the next one either. Yeah. So, you know, and this industry is the same way. I mean, you know, every time a new change comes out, we're always kind of, well, I mean, I'm fine with the way I was doing it, but we just have to be open-minded because the cars of today have changed so much from, you know, cars 5-10 years ago.
10 years ago, yeah.
I mean, it's, you know, if you don't stay with that technology and get the proper equipment, the proper, you know, training just to even know how to even get started on what you're doing, then you're never going to survive in this industry.
So how has the technology helped with shop profits?
A lot of the technology has made things simpler, really. You know, and the simpler you make it, obviously, the more you save time. And, you know, prime example, we pre-scan every vehicle whenever it comes in now. You know, 5-6 years ago, we didn't pre-scan any vehicle. Right. But now you pre-scan every vehicle whenever it comes in. Well, what that does is that gives me a clear idea of knowing, well, I know I need to start looking for this. I need to start looking for this because I've got these faults whenever it comes in. Whereas before, you'd put it together, have an engine light on, and then have to try to figure out, well, why is this light on? Right. Or try to look for it, you know. That not having to search or find out later on that I've got a problem I didn't realize I had prior to going into it, you know, that saves time. And the more we save time, you know, the more it just makes money for the shop.
What about post-scanning?
Post-scanning as well, because it allows us to know that the car was repaired correctly, for one. Right. You know, I'm not going to ever sit here and say, oh, you know, every post-scan we do, we've already fixed everything because, well, we all know that there's going to be that post-scan where you're going to realize that there was an issue that wasn't addressed like it should have been. I mean, that's checking behind ourselves. But it allows us to get that problem fixed and get it addressed so that whenever that customer gets their vehicle back, they're getting back something that is exactly the way it's supposed to be. And it avoids that comeback in the future. So therefore, we're saving time and money with that return. Right.
When you're doing the OE scans, do you guys look forward to getting that clean bill of health from your scanning provider?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, everybody, that's going to sum up today's interview with Shane. I hope you guys all found this informative. If you got any questions, come see us at opusivs.com.